Alright, so this will be the second part, video 2 of my alum crystal experiment. So let me make some notes for anybody that might try this. So I'll link this to the other videos, and I'll explain real briefly, because I want this to be short, what I got going on here and what I did. So it's been 48 hours, and these crystals that you see here were all in here. And so were a couple of these beautiful little guys right there, and that one right there, and this guy right here. So they were all in there, and I think it was a 2.5 tablespoon ratio to a half a cup. I stirred it all up, and then in a separate container, and I poured it in here, and I put a paper towel on it, and I put it in my cabinet, which I'm going to show you in a minute. And they formed this in 24 hours. And I left them in for another 24 hours and nothing happened. They said the longer you let it sit, the longer it grows. So maybe, and I'm going to show you these really good in a minute, because you might say, well, they don't look like anything but a flat piece of salt or something, but trust me, they're not. They're really cool. So they didn't grow. The solution was probably, absorbed into all the crystals already. The interesting thing was they were placed in the bowl like 1, 2, 3, and then 2 little ones. It was really, really strange. And the reason I say that's strange is because, I'll show you this now. So I had these, this is a little setup I'm doing here. This is a blue glass, so it's hard to see. But let's see if you can see it in here. So you can sort of see it, this one's sitting upright too on a little stand I made. And then you see it growing around the bottom of the glass, and that one seems to be growing a little bit more than this. There you can kind of get an idea. And at first I thought it wasn't nothing but like, let's see here, like this. So in a plastic container, I tried the blue glass, the porcelain bowl or whatever that's made out of, and then a plastic. In the plastic it made this thin nothingness. In that blue glass that I showed you, it looks like the same, but it's not. It's actually raised. It's raised up, and it makes a whole bunch of like this kind, all stacked together all around, and about a little bit higher than this. So I broke off a few pieces, and I think that's what I got here. Let me see. Yeah, that's what I got here. So what you see here is what grows at the bottom of these blue glasses, and again I'll show you what did it in the plastic. So this was a beautiful chunk, and it doesn't look good, but when I show you the ones below, you're going to see why that's in there. So this experiment here is I made a little stand for it, wire ties, and I just sat it on there so it wouldn't stick to the bottom. And I was hoping, and I'm hoping, it's been about 12 hours, that doesn't look like it grew all that much. A little bit maybe. This one maybe a little bit. So the reason I did this, so let me backtrack. So both these pieces in this blue glass were as one. They were one piece in here. There was a couple more, but they broke, and they started to break into a whole bunch of things. This was solid, and that was solid, like the 3 there. So this is a new solution, and it's been about 12 hours, and I'm hoping to grow it on a stand instead of putting fishing wire and all that. Not that I wouldn't mind doing that. Some people made some amazing things. I just don't have the fishing wire right now, and I'm just trying to do my own experiments to see what I can do. I'm trying to make something awesome that looks like a crystal cluster. So the alum looks similar to this, quartz clusters. They look, well, when they're done in the blue glass, they look like this. I don't know why, but they do. Now I'm going to show, and this is what I want to grow. I want to keep growing those 2 in the glass as best I can. I would like to get it at least, maybe, I don't know, palm size, around my palm, not something like this. That would be awesome. But, just like something like that big would look really, really cool. So once again, this was in here, and it grew those 3 big crystals in there. They all have the same recipe, half cup to 2.5 tablespoons of this right here. Now, this was the one that was in a plastic container, and it came out horrible. It came out like borax. It's thin, It doesn't show much of anything. I mean, you can see that nice crystal face there, but it didn't raise up, and it's brittle. The one in the blue glass, and the one in the porcelain is not brittle. So now let me show you these, because I didn't really show you them in the other video outside the water. And give my camera here a break, because I don't know, it's just not that well. Let me see if I can get it over here, because they really are really beautiful, and obviously they're on the white background. So let me try to show you the dimensions of this. So there's that. And I think this is awesome, because everybody else's video, they made like they made stuff like between that and the one in the blue glass, and they were like kind of like breaking them all down and trying to find something beautiful like this, tie it to a string, and then make it bigger like this. Well, I don't know what the magic was. I guess it's this container, because this container made these 3 giant ones without me even trying. It did, and oh, that's another thing. It didn't make a crust at all. This did not have a crust on it. They were just these 3 giant crystals and those 2 or 3 tiny little beautiful ones, just like kind of like this in the bowl. It was like this in the bowl, and one was there and one was there. There was no crust. There was none of that kind of stuff, like snowflake type stuff. And in the blue glass, it didn't have the snowflake either. They were just, you know, like I showed you it on the rack that I made. A whole bunch of these kind of popped like all around. Some were stable, some weren't. But for whatever reason here, this is awesome. So let me finish showing you this so I don't make it too long of a video. So you can see how beautiful that is. Again, it's not flawless like some of the other people, but I didn't hang this in a container yet, and I'm gonna probably try one of these. So let's see here. I got an idea. See that? The levels of it, it's not just flat like you think. It's hard to show this kind of thing, especially when my camera doesn't cooperate. But let's see here. See that? The top and the bottom is actually a different level. They're different layers. It's just really hard to see. And I'm going to show you some. So the bottom kind of slanted. Now the bottom of the bowl isn't slanted, but it made a slant like this. I'm going to show you something really neat in a second here. I just want to go through this real quick. So this one didn't form as well, but kind of has its, I don't know, octagon type shape. This one is the coolest. I don't know why this one formed like that. Let's see. And I'm going to show you. There it goes. So they're like pyramids. So part of them are like pyramids, and part of them are like steps, like the other one. Now the ones in the jar, this is like a pyramid here. The ones in the jar, in the blue glasses, are better than this in the sense that they're actual pyramids. They look like the quartz crystals. They look exactly like a 4-sided pyramid. Not a pyramid like this that's flat, like literally on all sides is a pyramid. I don't know why, but it's awesome. And that only did that in the blue glass. This didn't do that. This sort of made pyramids, but only flat faces. The other ones have legitimate 4-sided pyramids sticking up out of them. And as you can see this. So now I got a technique that can probably show you this better. And again, I'm going over this. It's taking longer. But I want you to see the difference. Like, you know, you can do what the people say on the internet. I did my own experiment, and look what I found. I got these giant crystals in 24 hours. The 48 hours didn't do anything. But the 24 hours made it this big and awesome. I'm going to give you a better idea of how awesome they really are. So you could hang it on the string and wait for months and weeks to do that, like, which would probably be pretty cool. But you might want to get yourself a porcelain bowl or whatever the heck this thing is made out of, and in 24 hours just laying flat on the ground. And again, I'm not a science guy, so I don't know why it didn't form the crust. The plastic, it formed that crust on the bottom, and even the blue glass. The blue glass was the next step up. The blue glass performed better and made a whole bunch of those. I can't show you right now because it's underwater. So let me go and show you what I was doing here before it seemed to work better. Okay, so you kind of, let me see how I can get this so you can kind of see the shape better. You see how many different awesome like shapes and grooves there are. It's not as flat as it looks like there, you know. Maybe that's a little better too, but there you kind of can see that if I shade it a little bit. But I had it before, but I was not having a camera in my hand, so you can kind of see that, right? You see how many different cuts and awesome. Now this one right here, I don't know if I can show you. There it goes. It's a perfect rectangle, and it has nice, beautiful flat sides. And on the top is that, like, I don't know, 6-point weird shape. And it's actually gorgeous. And it's just too hard to show you this thing. But there you go. There it goes. That might be the best view yet. Hope you stuck around to watch. So I grew this in 24 hours. And again, you're not seeing everything because there's faces upon faces of those triangles. Then there's this wonderful crystal sticking out there. And some of those pyramid type shapes stick out. So this was like, what I'm trying to say is, I want to take this and the other ones that are even better. And I say better because they have more actual pyramid structures on them sticking out. This one's kind of just a little plain. I might hang this one and see what happens. And this one I really like. So let's see if I can get it there. There. Now you can kind of see better. So whatever it is with the reaction in the here's my light. The reaction in the glass. See, it's hard. I'm trying to show you the steps of the sides, but it's a little bit difficult. So yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to share that with you. I love this one, and if I can grow this to even double its size and keep that same shape, that would just look so awesome. And then I'm going to spray it with, because I'm assuming it's going to be like borax, so I would spray it with my spray that's working really good on the borax stuff. There, you can kind of see it. See that top part? As I turn it, it steps down. It's 3 steps here and 1 step there. And it's just really cool. And again, let's see if I can get a good focus on this. You can kind of see it. It's just very difficult sometimes to get crystals on a camera, especially my camera. Alright, so that's it. And again, longer than I expected, but I wanted to show you what the experiment was. And you know, now you got to see these out of water. And let's see if I hold the light down upon that. Yeah, it's just, my camera's just tricky. There, you can kind of see the heights in there, the different heights. It's not as flat as it looks. It was really, really nice. Let's see if I can come over here and do that. Yeah, a little bit tricky. All right, anyway, you get the idea. So if you want to do your own experiments, maybe get yourself some blue glass and this white guy here. And again, it was in the cabinet with a paper towel over it. I would recommend don't do plastic because I just got nothing with plastic. And again, it was the same recipe in every glass. I mixed it in a glass, poured it in the blue glass, mixed it in a glass, poured it in this, mixed it in a glass, poured it in the plastic. And so, you know, obviously this is the best. I'm just baffled. Every time I hold this up and I look at the bowl, and I think when I came back and I saw them placed almost perfectly, it was like as if somebody just placed it there like this. I'll show you just to have it so you can get an idea. Like I came back, I saw that, and I thought, wait, the other 2 experiments don't look like that. There's no crust, there's nothing, there was nothing around it. So, okay, anyway, it's longer than I thought, but I'm babbling around. There's the stuff I use, by the way. I got it on Walmart online. There is the company, Carolina.com. I think it came out of North Carolina or South Carolina. Let's see. Yeah, North Carolina. All right, so that's the experiment, and that's, you know, day 2. Obviously didn't grow in the next 24 hours. I don't know if I said it in this video, but here's some iron pyrite. So some of the ones in the blue glass, I'm trying to grow iron pyrite through it. Like here's a piece here. Again, my camera doesn't show good. So it did. It grew it on there. So I had a few cubes of tiny iron pyrite, and I thought that would look cool if I can grow a crystal with these things, you know, sticking in between. All right? So you got any questions or you got any advice, or you know how come it's growing like this awesome in this bowl and really good in the blue glass, and it doesn't grow in plastic? Let me know. And again, like this, you might think this is cool, and it really, really is. And if I can double its size, it'd be awesome. It's very fragile feeling. The borax crystals, once you get them growing, they're solid. This is very, very fragile. And again, just to get you an idea, just picture a quartz crystal point, you know, 4 or 6 sides. These are 4-sided perfect pyramids growing up out of those blue glasses. So if you want to try the same, get yourself one of these white, I don't know if it's porcelain or whatever it is, and a blue glass, and try it yourself. But if you have any experiments that you've tried and came out with something different or whatever, that's really cool, let me know. All right? All right, love you all. Bye. My camera's trying to do something weird here as I shut it off. And one more time. And how about a 4th time? So I go to hit my camera once every 50 times when I make a video, and I go to hit the pause, and there's nothing there but, the pause, the stop, and the take a picture. And I go to hit the red stop sometimes, and it shows a magnification thing comes up to the left.